In early 1258, Baghdad, the capital of the Abbasid Caliphate, faced a monumental siege by Mongol forces under Hulagu Khan, a grandson of Genghis Khan. The Mongols besieged the city starting on January 29th, and by February 5th, they had breached the walls. The city surrendered on February 10th, leading to extensive looting and destruction. The Mongols massacred a significant portion of the population, including Caliph al-Mustazim. This event is often marked as the end of the Islamic Golden Age due to the extensive loss of life and cultural heritage. On February 10, 1306, Robert the Bruce met with John Comyn, a powerful Scottish noble, at Greyfriars Church in Dumfries. The exact details are debated, but during their meeting, Bruce stabbed Comyn, possibly due to a dispute over claims to the Scottish throne or allegations of betrayal. This act, committed in a sacred place, led to Bruce's excommunication, but also served as a catalyst for his subsequent coronation as King of Scots and the intensification of the Wars of Scottish Independence. In 1712, the Huilish people of Chiloé Archipelago in present-day Chile rebelled against Spanish encomenderos, colonial landlords. The uprising was fueled by the exploitation and mistreatment of the indigenous population under the encomienda system. The rebellion was significant, but ultimately suppressed by colonial forces. The Treaty of Paris, signed on February 10, 1763, concluded the French and Indian War, part of the global 7 Years' War. As a result, France ceded its territories in Canada, including Quebec, to Great Britain, significantly altering the balance of colonial power in North America. On February 10, 1814, during the Napoleonic Wars, Napoleon Bonaparte led French forces to victory against Russian and Prussian troops at the Battle of Champaubert. This battle was part of the 6 Days Campaign, showcasing Napoleon's strategic prowess during his defense of France. The Battle of Sobraon, fought on February 10, 1846, was the final and decisive battle of the First Anglo-Sikh War. British forces defeated the Sikh army, leading to the Treaty of Lahore and significant territorial concessions, including the annexation of the Jullundur Doab. On February 10, 1861, Jefferson Davis was unanimously elected as the provisional president of the Confederate States of America by a constitutional convention in Montgomery, Alabama. He was inaugurated on February 18, 1861. Davis, a former U.S. Senator and Secretary of War, was chosen for his political prominence and military experience. He served as the only president of the Confederacy throughout its existence during the American Civil War. On February 10, 1862, during the American Civil War, a Union naval flotilla under Commander Stephen C. Rowan engaged and destroyed the Confederate Mosquito Fleet at the Battle of Elizabeth City on the Pasquotank River in North Carolina. The Confederate fleet, commanded by Commodore William F. Lynch, consisted of several small vessels tasked with defending the region. The Union's victory resulted in the destruction or capture of most of the Confederate vessels and left the town of Elizabeth City defenseless, leading to its capture by Union forces. On February 10, 1906, the British Royal Navy launched HMS Dreadnought, a revolutionary battleship that set new standards in naval architecture with its all-big gun design and steam turbine propulsion, rendering previous battleship designs obsolete. On February 10, 1920, General Józef Haller performed the symbolic wedding of Poland to the sea in Puck, celebrating Poland's access to the Baltic Sea, restored by the Treaty of Versailles after World War I. The Schleswig plebiscites were held to determine the future national affiliation of the Schleswig region between Denmark and Germany. In Zone I, on February 10, 1920, about 75% of the population voted to join Denmark, leading to the region's partition. On February 10, 1923, Texas Technological College, now Texas Tech University, was established in Lubbock, Texas. It has since grown into a major public research university. In February 10, 1930, the Vietnam QuocDan Dung, Viennacuth, a Vietnamese nationalist party, orchestrated an uprising known as the Yen Bai Mutiny. Approximately 50 Vietnamese soldiers from the 4th Regiment of Tonkinese Rifles stationed in Yen Bai turned against their French officers, supported by about 60 civilian Viennacuth members. The aim was to inspire a broader revolt against French colonial rule. However, the majority of Vietnamese soldiers did not join the mutiny, leading to its suppression within 24 hours. In the aftermath, the French authorities executed several Vienna Youth leaders, including Nguyen Thai Hoc and Phu Duc Chin, on June 17, 1930. This event marked a significant, albeit unsuccessful, attempt to challenge French colonialism in Vietnam. Between February 10 and 19, 1936, during the Second Italo-Abyssinian War, Italian forces under Marshal Pietro Badoglio engaged Ethiopian troops led by Ras Mulugeta Yegazu in the Battle of Amba Aratum. The Italians initiated the battle with a strategic encirclement, utilizing superior weaponry, including artillery and aerial bombardments. The Ethiopians, though numerically strong, were less equipped and suffered significant casualties. The battle concluded with an Italian victory, resulting in the death of Ras Mulugeta and weakening Ethiopian resistance in the region. By February 10, 1939, during the Spanish Civil War, nationalist forces led by General Francisco Franco completed their offensive in Catalonia. The fall of Barcelona on January 26 had been a significant blow to the Republican forces. Following this, nationalist troops advanced, capturing Girona and reaching the French border, effectively sealing it. This campaign marked the end of organized Republican resistance in northeastern Spain and paved the way for the nationalist victory in the Civil War. On February 10, 1940, following the Soviet invasion of eastern Poland in 1939, Soviet authorities commenced mass deportations of Polish citizens to Siberia and other remote regions. These deportations targeted various groups, including former military officers, civil servants, and intellectuals, perceived as threats to Soviet control. Thousands of families were forcibly removed from their homes under harsh conditions, leading to significant suffering and loss of life. On February 10, 1943, during World War II, the Soviet Red Army launched an offensive against German forces and Spanish volunteers of the Blue Division near the town of Krasny Bor, southeast of Leningrad. The battle was part of the Soviet efforts to break the Siege of Leningrad. Despite initial Soviet advances, the well-entrenched Axis forces managed to hold their positions, resulting in heavy casualties on both sides. Signed on February 10, 1947, the Paris Peace Treaties officially ended World War II between the Allied powers and Italy, Romania, Hungary, Bulgaria, and Finland. The treaties imposed various territorial adjustments, reparations, and military restrictions on the former Axis powers, reshaping the political landscape of post-war Europe. On February 10, 1954, President Dwight D. Eisenhower cautioned against U.S. military intervention in Vietnam. He emphasized the complexities of the conflict and the potential for becoming entangled in a protracted war, advocating for a more measured approach to the escalating situation in Southeast Asia. On February 10, 1962, in a notable Cold War exchange, captured American U-2 spy plane pilot Francis Gary Powers was traded for Soviet spy Rudolf Abel. The exchange took place on the Glienicke Bridge between West Berlin and Potsdam, symbolizing the tense espionage activities characteristic of the era. On February 10, 1964, the Australian aircraft carrier HMAS Melbourne collided with the destroyer HMAS Voyager during night exercises off the coast of New South Wales. The collision resulted in the sinking of Voyager and the loss of 82 lives. The incident led to significant inquiries and changes in Royal Australian Navy procedures. On February 10, 1989, Ron Brown was elected as the chairman of the Democratic National Committee, becoming the first African American to lead a major American political party. His leadership was noted for revitalizing the party and contributing to its successes in the early 1990s. On February 10, 1996, IBM supercomputer Deep Blue defeated world chess champion Garry Kasparov in a game, marking the first time a computer had won a game against a reigning world champion under standard chess tournament time controls. While Kasparov won the overall match, this victory was a significant milestone in the field of artificial intelligence. On February 10, 2003, France and Belgium broke NATO's procedure of silent approval by blocking the timing of protective measures for Turkey in anticipation of a possible war with Iraq. This move highlighted divisions within the alliance regarding the approach to the Iraq crisis. On February 10, 2016, in response to North Korea's launch of the Kwangmyongsong 4 satellite, South Korea decided to cease operations at the Kaesong Industrial Complex.